folks, welcome back to Game Geeks. I'm your host, Kurt Wiegel. Today we are doing a combination Kickstart backer episode and review. Now the thing we're reviewing is the East Texas University setting for Savage Worlds. Now this has been kind of a long-promised, long-waited-for project. This directly pulls out of stuff from 12 to Midnight and the Pine Box, Texas setting, in effort to give you a degrees of horror, college, academic, dealing with college and fighting the forces of evil all at the same time. Now this is especially exciting for me because for those of you who don't know, I'm a college professor. I teach chemistry. My doctorate is in chemical engineering. I love college, I love university life. And this also brings in a couple of my other favorite things, horror, Savage Worlds, and combines them all into one absolutely brilliantly playable system. For those of you who have been fans for a long time, you'll remember the last specifically collegiate product I reviewed was Miskatonic University for Call of Cthulhu, way back in the yonder. It was way, way back ago. We might have been in the single digits of Game Geeks back then. So go find a list, go back and watch it. You can see old places we used to film, old topics we used to do, and how much weight I put on in the meantime. So what do you get with East Texas University? Well, specifically, you are dealing with Savage Worlds horror, does not require the horror guidebook, if you were to happen to have that. This has the self-contained rules all inside, and an absolutely brilliantly realized description of East Texas University. What do you get in the East Texas University? Well, to start with, anything you could possibly want to know about this, you can. All of the list of available majors, you've got a map of the campus, you've got a map of the town it's in itself, all some of the environs. Now, those are standard. Those are what you'd expect, right? Those are what I would expect too. But here's the fun stuff you get. You get an alma mater song. You get a fight song. You get the mascot, Go Ravens. You get all of this stuff to really give it the whole feel of what you're doing. You get the real feel of what college life is like. Now, enough of me waxing poetical about the setting. What do you get for the crunchy bits? What do you get for your gaming dollar here? Because let's face it, most of us probably would like to go back to college, as they say in Avenue Q. But for those of us who don't, or who have not so great memories of it, you might be asking yourself, why do I have the need to go back to this? Why do I feel this need to go back to a time and a place and a setting when I didn't enjoy that much in the first place? Well, here's why. You make college students for your characters. And with those college students, you've got your standard 4 years of the U.S. academic system. Freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. And what they've done is they've very, very efficiently related those 4 ranks to the first 4 ranks in a Savage Worlds character. Novice, seasoned, veteran, and heroic. So you can see the natural progression. The other thing they do, which is a brilliant touch, is they break down, for those of you who know Savage Worlds well, these are 20 XP gaps, 5 each. And you get raises at every 4. Here's the good part. At every 4, you make an academics check. Oh no, you say. What is the academics check? Well, the academics check is your major area of study is related to as a skill. As you make your character, you've got skill caps, because I don't care how much your players are going to try to wriggle around on this one. Nobody who's a freshman at a college, even in Texas, is going to have a D12 in shooting. Hi, Mike, I'm looking at you right now. That's not going to happen. They suggest a D6 or even a D8 at the absolute maximum for this. So you make that skill check with a negative modifier according to your the level of the class you're taking, how hard it is, and then a potential positive modifier from your academic score, which, like charisma, starts at 0 and then can go up and down based on edges and hindrances. Speaking of edges and hindrances, what else do you get out of this? Well, you get some absolutely hysterically brilliant hindrances. My personal favorites were annoying roommate, which could either be the up all night playing his music or the, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? Can I come with you, huh? Oh, what's that? Oh, that's a demon. Ah, clunk. You could also have ADHD as one of your hindrances. There's others like controlling or helicoptering parents who have to stay on top of you. What are you doing, little Charlie? Are you sure you're doing okay? You don't look like you're eating, and your professor won't tell me what your grades are because of some stupid thing called FERPA. But I really want to know. There is a history to the town of supernatural weirdness. It is titularly set in East Texas. And for people who think Texas is all desert, it's not. You're in sort of the pine forest thicket area of Texas there. Other fun things you get with this are adventure generators. Obviously, this is a Savage Worlds. They have ways of you quickly throwing together an adventure. They have a demon creation table. Now just think about that for a second. A demon creation table. Wouldn't Jack Chick love to get a hold of that for future Chick track pamphlets against Dungeons and Dragons? But I digress here. So you get a demon generator, which is really your main villain. So this takes the supernatural as opposed to the extraterrestrial approach. You have an armory right outside of town, and you can imagine the fun you could have there. Also, with this, you get a couple of other tables that are really fun and worth looking at. Everyone, I hope you're taking notes. There will be a quiz on this at the end of the period. You also have a Greek fraternity sorority table. In order to not drag down the potential reputations of fraternities and invoke lawsuits from their vicious attack attorneys, you just randomly throw a few dice or throw a few cards, and all of a sudden you have the I felt a thigh fraternity, if you wanted to go a bit on the funnier side. And then what it does, and probably one of my favorite parts of this product is the party generator. Available from Sharper Image for $29.99. No, the party generator. What you get with the party generator is, okay, this is college. And I know players, I've been doing this a long time, and most players are going to do, I'm going to sit in my room and study and not go out and do anything. And you know what we call those players? Freshmen. Boring freshmen, actually. So as they step forward, as they start to get out more, maybe you need to go to that party for a contact. Maybe that party is your plot hook. And these parties can be everything from a few people in a dorm room to holy crap block parties that just take over the town. I tend to wax effusive. I tend to get really excited about these things. And you can probably tell I've been compared to James Lipton more than once. At least I'm not going to ask you what your favorite swear word is. But living in the college atmosphere for most of my life, I really love any game that effectively encapsulates in a fun way what college is. And this game gets it right in all the ways I can possibly imagine. So if you like a horror game, if you like a game with a different twist on it, you're not kung fu fighting badasses against the forces of darkness. You're college kids who are going to develop into these characters as you try to fight people. This town has a very Sunnydale feel. A couple of descriptions I've heard from other people say, this feels like what Buffy season 4 should have been. Didn't care for Buffy season 4 myself. Adam, the Initiative, nah. But you could easily see how this happens. You have an excuse for these disparate people to come together. What's your roommate doing? Why is he doing this? Your best friend from high school, why are they suddenly growing gills and mastering the swim team? Sorry, that's for that college up in Massachusetts. But you get the idea. You get the idea where this is going. Right now, this is, at the time of this filming, the Kickstart is still going. it had several days left. I don't know the exact number. The link for it is below. Go take a look. The rewards you can get for supporting this, and as it continues to expand, is there's a campaign coming. I'm a little fishy, get it, Innsmouth fishy. I'm a little fishy on talking about adventures simply because I don't want to give away the ending, and it could be cool. But this particular event, this plot point campaign, Degrees of Horror, delves specifically into the history of Pine Box and the university and some of the major NPCs you can run into there. They're also talking about making bennies, maps, a GM screen, more adventures, etc. Folks, East Texas University, Degrees of Horror, this entire Savage Worlds horror university concept, it is brilliant, it is awesome, and when I pick up my dice bag again, there's an extremely high chance that this is what we're going to be doing, because it can provide you with a modular, almost British seasoned sized campaign, 10, 12, 15 episodes and you're done, go on to something else, come back for sophomore year. This is probably one of my favorite things I have read this year and possibly in a really long time. I am extremely excited to see this, and I heartily encourage you to go out, check it out, and support it if you feel so able to do so. For Game Geeks, I'm your host, Dr. Kurt Wiegel. Good day and good gaming.